Welcome back to another edition of Ranger News. I'm CJ.
And I'm Piper.
An update on the coronavirus. The doctor that warned us about the coronavirus has recently died. What are you doing?
Oh, do you want some?
Sure.
This episode is sponsored by Chick-fil-A. Check in next episode to see how Chick-fil-A works.
The U.S. has declared a public health emergency after the coronavirus has been identified within our own state of Massachusetts. The virus has already killed over 300 people in China and is continuing to spread. ABC has this to say.
We're going to start here with the breaking news in the coronavirus story. Here's what we know as we come on the air. There is a new confirmed case of the virus here in the United States, bringing the total to 8 cases. In China, where this all started, there have now been more than 300 deaths, including 45 since yesterday. And we now have the first death outside of China, a man in the Philippines.
And we have team coverage this morning from both the U.S. and China. We begin with ABC's Clayton Sandell, who's in Riverside County, California, where 200 people have been quarantined. Clayton, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, Whit. It is day 5 of the quarantine here at this military base. Those Americans evacuated from China are getting a health screening every 12 hours. Now, so far, no one is showing any symptoms, but on the East Coast, a new confirmed case in Boston and a suspected case in New York have officials watching very closely.
Starting today, the U.S. is closing its doors, blocking foreign nationals who recently traveled to China, an effort to slow the rapid spread of novel coronavirus.
At 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the United States government will implement temporary measures to increase our abilities to detect and contain the coronavirus.
The restrictions kicking in as Massachusetts confirms its first case.
It seems to be an isolated incident.
The patient is a university student who traveled to Wuhan, China, the epicenter of the outbreak, arriving at Logan Airport Tuesday. He's now at home in isolation.
There is no fear right now of coronavirus as far as spreading to the city of Boston or to my knowledge, to Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
New York now joining a list of 37 states investigating suspected cases. On the West Coast,
just checking in here from day 4 of the quarantine.
Those 195 Americans evacuated from Wuhan last week, including kids, will be monitored over 2 weeks for symptoms.
We're just making the best of it, enjoying the weather. The weather has been beautiful, and just kind of making the best of it while we're out here and trying to keep a positive attitude.
There are now 8 confirmed novel coronavirus cases in 5 states.
We still have a low risk to the American public, but we want to keep it at a low risk.
But if the outbreak continues to spread and more evacuations are needed, the U.S. military is designating bases in Colorado, California, and Texas that could house 1,000 people in quarantine. The ripple effects of the virus now infecting the economy. Apple and Starbucks closing stores in China, and airlines, United, American, and Delta, canceling all China flights.
And here's Caleb with the Ranger Roundup.
What's good, everybody, and welcome back. Over the past few weeks, we've had a bunch of games, and Ranger Nation definitely came out to support. On Tuesday the 5th, the boys basketball team played Tewksbury on their senior night, and they came out on top in a big overtime win. Seniors Kevin and Wildy both had big games. On Monday, the MHS gymnastics team also had their senior night. The Rangers had a big win against the strong Andover team, bringing the MVC title back for the first time since 1998. For the Super Bowl, the Chiefs beat the 49ers 31-20 with a major comeback led by the Super Bowl MVP, Patrick Mahomes. We are having our second annual 3v3 basketball tournament after school on Wednesday, March 11th. $15 per team, and food will be provided to the players by our sponsors Chick-fil-A and Triple E's Pizza. Contact Sebastian Lane and Mr. Martin to sign up and for more information. And that's the Ranger Recap. Caleb Rogers signing out.
Hey, I'm Maddie Frost.
And I'm Jasmine Rivera.
We're filling in for Farrah Kanan this month on the Methuen Minute.
So far this month, senior projects are underway and students are showing their unique personalities and interests. Students like Mia Torres are even tackling tough issues facing our community. The 821 campaign raises awareness about all types of human slavery, such as human trafficking, sexual exploitation, forced slavery labor, and child soldiery. Mia has already raised $1,000, but her new goal is now $3,000.
February break is coming up. From February 15th until the 23rd, if you have any Methuen gear, please send us all the cool pictures that you take on break, and we'll post them here. We want to show all of our Methuen high pride.
Quinceañera happened on February 7th. Many students got to celebrate their 15th birthday at the school in fashion. Ruth Datis won the Poetry Out Loud finals. Congrats to her.
Other upcoming events include Methuen Scholarship Foundation Telethon, Thursday, March 12th at 6 p.m. in the auditorium. The Coffee House concert is on March 14th. Be sure to tune in to hear the great voices Methuen High has to offer. Thank you very much for tuning in, and here's Weatherman Matthew.
Good morning, guys. Today, Claudia and I are going to touch on the topic of the Australia fires as well as mentioning what went down on Groundhog Day.
The weather around Australia after the outbreaks of the wildfire is super dry with high winds and low heat. As of right now, the fires have killed at least 25 people and taken away more than 2,000 homes. They've estimating 1 billion animals have lost their lives due to the fires. Here's the footage.
The fire danger rating is expected to reach severe. Consequently, a total fire ban has been declared and will remain in place until midnight, Friday, the 31st of January.
On February 2nd, it was Groundhog's Day. If you are not familiar with a groundhog named Phil climbs out of hiding, and if he sees his shadow, there will be a longer winter. If he sees no shadow, then we'll have an early spring. This year, Phil did not see his shadow. That means we're going to have an early spring. Here's some footage.
For there is no shadow of me, spring will be early, it's a certainty.
Warmer temperatures are on the way for the second year in a row if you are listening to advice from a varmint. Though we should mention last year's forecast was a bit of a bust. The town of Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania has been holding Groundhog Day ever since 1887. And in all those years, a long line of Phils have only predicted an early spring 20 times.
Next up is our entertainment with Brian and Junior.
The end of the year is coming, and you know what that means.
It's time for some senior activities, the first being a trip to see the Blue Man Group in Boston in March 6th. Tickets are $80, and dinner is not included. Last day to buy tickets is February 13th.
Then it's time to dance. Prom is on May 21st, and tickets are $70. Unless you get them before March 12th, then they're only $65. Get your tickets by April 2nd.
Then it's a trip up to Loon Mountain on June 1st. It's $80 per ticket, and the best part is, lunch is included. Last day to buy tickets is April 16th.
The final activity is a senior cookout on June 4th, right after graduation practice. Seniors get free lunch from our sponsor, Chick-fil-A. This has been your entertainment report by Charbel Merheb
and Jadrian Ramos.
Peace.
That's all for today.
Hope you have a great vacation.
See you next time.